Aê, estamos ao vivo! Estamos ao vivo aqui nessa nossa live com a Universidade do Tennessee. Como é que vocês estão, hein? Tô vendo vocês no YouTube aqui no meu celular. Falem pra mim se vocês estão me vendo bem, me ouvindo bem, para eu poder começar aqui os nossos trabalhos. Como é que vocês estão me ouvindo? Estão me ouvindo? Estão me ouvindo? A live vai ficar gravada, gente. Mas se você estiver ao vivo, você vai poder preencher um formulário aqui que a gente vai disponibilizar, que depois não vai ter mais. Então, se você estiver ao vivo, é melhor. Vocês estão me ouvindo? Yes, sim ou não? Sim, tudo certo. Bom demais. Ó, temos aí mais uma live parceria com a Universidade Americana. Se você não sabe, né, a gente já fez live com Illinois, Rochester, Alabama, Texas Tech. A gente tem alunos aprovados lá ou se preparando para chegar. E a gente está aqui com outra parceria, a University of Tennessee. E o Tennessee é muito legal. Assim, ele é aquele estado super tradicional dos Estados Unidos, música country americana, terra do Elvis Presley, do Jack Daniels. Então, assim, é muito legal. O nosso convidado aqui, ele já vai se apresentar, ele vai falar bastante do Tennessee para vocês, falar sobre essa parte de natureza, que tem bastante natureza. Tem os maiores polos de pesquisa em energia, ciência, tecnologia do mundo. Então, assim, é uma tradição americana, porque é bem tradicional, bem americanão, cultura, mas tem natureza e tem ciência da maior qualidade mundial. Você conhecia o Tennessee antes? Você que está aqui me ouvindo? Você conhecia o Tennessee? Você já ouviu falar, já pensou em estudar no Tennessee? Duvido. Fala aqui pra mim se você já pensou em estudar no Tennessee. A Universidade do Tennessee é uma das maiores universidades dos Estados Unidos, a maior universidade do Tennessee. Tem um monte, gente, tem mais de 500 programas de pós-graduação. Você acredita? Tem mais de 500 programas de pós-graduação. E a gente vai falar aqui agora um pouco sobre o programa de pós-graduação, sobre a universidade. Fica comigo, eu vou chamar um convidado super especial, o Phil. Ele é simplesmente o diretor de admissão e de recrutamento do College of Business do Tennessee. Então, ele vem falar para nós sobre recrutamento, sobre admissão, o que que uma universidade valoriza, o que que uma universidade não valoriza. Mas antes eu quero falar para você aqui, ó, muita gente querendo ir para o Tennessee. Estive no Tennessee em janeiro, fiquei encantada. Tennessee realmente é maravilhoso. Olha só, deixa eu falar para vocês por que que essas universidades estão buscando parceria com a gente e por que que isso é importante para você que está me ouvindo aí agora, tá? Não sei se você que está aqui me ouvindo assistiu o projeto Parte USA, mas eu e a Sara a gente explicou que o cenário da imigração americana ele mudou e mudou para melhor, sim, apesar de tudo que você está vendo aí na mídia, mudou para melhor. A mídia está criando assim um clima de pesadelo, um clima de medo em relação à imigração americana. Então, parece que ninguém mais pode entrar nos Estados Unidos, parece que acabou, parece que fechou a porta. E você sabe que não é isso. Você sabe que não é assim. O governo americano não pode fechar as portas de um país. O sistema de ensino, o sistema de educação nos Estados Unidos tem muita força. Tem uma força institucional, econômica, né? Muito dinheiro, uma força política. Então, a porta da educação para o internacional, para o imigrante, continua 100% aberta. E aí vem a parte que muita gente não percebeu, né? Todo esse clima de terror, todo esse clima de medo, eles afastaram os principais aplicantes de universidades internacionais, que são asiáticos, chineses, indianos, né? Esse pessoal, assim, que são historicamente, você pode olhar para qualquer dado dos Estados Unidos, a grande maioria dos alunos internacionais aqui nos Estados Unidos. Então, tá assustando a grande massa de internacional, de aluno internacional. E o que que isso significa para você que está me ouvindo aí? Que tem menos gente disputando as vagas. No entanto, as universidades continuam com o mesmo dinheiro de pesquisa, com um monte de recurso de pesquisa, buscando talento internacional. Então, se você olhar essa equação, você vai ver que está desbalanceado. A maior massa mundial não está aplicando por causa desse clima de terror. As universidades continuam com bastante recurso financeiro e não está tendo aluno para chegar nesse recurso financeiro. Então, as universidades estão procurando a gente para que vocês, brasileiros, você que está aqui me ouvindo, conheça essa universidade, vá explorar os programas, vá saber o que que tem lá. E o Fio, ele veio aqui hoje para contar isso pessoalmente para vocês. para falar sobre as oportunidades que tem na universidade dele, para mostrar, vender a universidade dele para vocês. Então, vocês estão entendendo o que está acontecendo? Então, fique aqui comigo porque essa live realmente vai abrir as portas, vai abrir sua cabeça para várias coisas. Olha só, esses brasileiros que hoje estão na Universidade do Tennessee, na Illinois, Rochester, Alabama, Texas Tech, eles não chegaram nessas universidades por sorte. Cada um deles teve em algum momento alguém mostrando o caminho e dizendo: ó, você vai por aqui, faz desse jeito, vai por esse caminho, não faz isso, não faz aquilo. Eles estavam não só no lugar certo, mas também na hora certa. Então, quem teve, não sei se você teve, você que tá me ouvindo, teve na última live do Projeto Parte Usa, você vai lembrar do Amauri. O Amauri estava contando a história dele, ele estava numa live com a Texas Tech, uma live que a gente fez dentro da mentoria. Então, foi uma aula que a gente deu dentro da mentoria. E lá dentro da mentoria, a gente estava falando com o pessoal da Texas Tech, e lá que ele descobriu que a Texas Tech existia. O Amauri, ele entrou na mentoria em maio. Ele entrou na mentoria em maio e em janeiro do ano seguinte ele já estava dentro da Texas Tech fazendo um estágio de pesquisa e depois ele já emendou o PhD dele. Então ele entrou em maio, em janeiro ele estava nos Estados Unidos. E não foi por acaso. O Amauri estava dentro da mentoria, assistindo as aulas da mentoria, assistiu a live que a gente fez com a Texas Tech, foi lá e agiu. Então, o lugar certo é a mentoria Método PhD nos Estados Unidos, que traz essas conexões com a universidade americana, que mostra para você que são reais, que as oportunidades são reais. E a mentoria tá aí para te colocar na cara do gol, não deixar passar nenhuma oportunidade. E com a mentoria na mão, com o método na mão, com a gente do seu lado, com as portas se abrindo no momento que você precisa. Olha só, tá tudo encaminhado. Você tá com a faca e com o queijo na mão. Então, assim, é um momento maravilhoso de você agarrar essa oportunidade que está passando na sua frente. É a faca e o queijo na mão, é o cavalo selado passando na frente, e isso não acontece duas, três, quatro, cinco, isso não acontece. Inclusive, olha só, não tô com o meu suporte aqui. Suporte, vai me falando os números aqui que você tem. Eu tô com o meu suporte aqui. E o meu suporte me falou que tem 5 vagas para mentoria ainda. As vagas da mentoria fecham hoje. Então, se você tá aqui, se você não tá dentro da mentoria, eu preciso te dizer que as inscrições elas fecham hoje às 23h59. Mas às vezes pela quantidade, que só tem mais 5 vagas, às vezes vai se encerrar antes do previsto. Então, ó, enquanto você estiver clicando no link que a gente vai enviar aqui, né, enquanto a página estiver abrindo, é porque tem página disponível. Manda o link aqui, suporte. Se o link deixar cair, deixar de funcionar, você já sabe que acabou as vagas, se esgotaram, não conseguiu ir nem até a meia-noite, beleza? Coloca aí o link suporte das vagas na mentoria para eu poder ver. Me conte aí, suporte. Vamos lá. Olha só. A gente tá aqui para dar a faca e o queijo na mão. O cavalo tá selado. Não vai passar na frente 2 vezes. A mentoria é o lugar certo na hora certa. Eu vou chamar o Fio aqui. O Fio a gente vai falar em inglês, né? O Fio ele não fala português, então você que tá aí entendendo pelo menos um pouquinho, você é o responsável pela comunicação. Fica tranquilo, se você não entender tudo, eu vou te ajudando, eu vou te contextualizando em português. Vai ter legenda aqui, a legenda ela é um pouco experimental, mas vai ter legenda. Eu quero que você fique, vai ter um formulário aqui para você preencher. A gente vai falar para você, e esse formulário a gente vai mandar para a universidade, a gente vai mandar para o Tennessee, eles vão ter o seu contato para te mandar oportunidades exclusivas, fee waiver, o que quer que eles estejam mandando, tá? Depois a live vai ficar salva e você vai conseguir ver. Então eu vou chamar o Fio aqui, suporte, coloca o Fio aqui para mim, nós dois juntinhos aqui na live. Welcome, Phil. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. It's great to speak with all of you on this webinar.
It's great. So we have right now 265 people on YouTube and another 110 people on Instagram. And the numbers are rising. Hopefully, we're going to have even more people. So we can talk about Tennessee, the great state of Tennessee, the great University of Tennessee.
Right.
I was introducing you briefly, Phil, telling them that you are the director of admission for the College of Business. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and start talking about Tennessee and the University of Tennessee, the opportunities they have to offer. And I'm here to be the bridge between our audience and you.
Perfect. Sounds great. Well, thank you all again for taking time out of your busy schedules to learn a little bit more about the University of Tennessee. As Monique mentioned, my name is Phil Drendel. I am the Director of Admissions and Recruitment at the Haslam College of Business here at the University of Tennessee, kind of overseeing admissions for all of our graduate business programs here at the university. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can have some visuals here along with my talking. So with the University of Tennessee, we're just going to do a brief overview of the graduate school and various opportunities here. A little bit about the university itself. So we are a land grant institution. We are the flagship institution here in the state of Tennessee. We're a little bit in the southern part of the United States. As was mentioned, think Elvis Presley, think Jack Daniels, but also think Smoky Mountains, think beautiful, warm scenery here. And we are located in the eastern part of the state near those Smoky Mountains and the amazing landscape here in the southern United States. Our university was founded in 1794. This is actually 2 years before the state of Tennessee was started in the United States. So we have been around for a long time. As I mentioned, we are located in Knoxville, Tennessee. The University of Tennessee is very large. It has about 40,000 students, and for graduate students, about 8,300 or so any given year. That's a large university, but with a large university comes a lot of opportunities for our students. Opportunities to get involved in extracurricular opportunities and activities, opportunities to get involved with clubs and organizations, opportunities for research, for part-time jobs, and a large student population means a large and active alumni population as well. Our mascot, so sports are very important in the United States collegiate scene, but especially here at the University of Tennessee. We have a mascot called the Volunteer, and it is a very unique mascot, but it harkens back to our history within the university and the forming of the state. But we also have a very cute dog named Smokey that runs onto the football field every home game and is cheered on by the 110,000 fans that fit in our American football stadium that attend every game. So there's
110 mil pessoas. I'm sorry if you
it's
just emphasizing that you have a huge
it
stadium
is
in
huge.
Tennessee.
It is huge. I know it is one of the top five largest stadiums in the United States.
Oh, uau, eles têm um estádio. A universidade tem um estádio que cabe 110 mil pessoas. Veja bem o investimento só em esporte dessas universidades que a gente está falando aqui nos Estados Unidos, pessoal. É realmente impressionante. I'm sorry, Phil, go ahead.
No, it's all right. I appreciate it there. So, talking about our graduate programs, because we are such a large university, we have many different colleges, centers, institutes, areas for you to potentially pursue graduate programs. You can see the list of them here: architecture and design, arts and sciences, communication and information, education, health and human services. We have our Winston College of Law, our Natalie L. Haslam College of Music. We have a College of Nursing, Social Work, the Haslam College of Business, our Herbert College of Agriculture, Howard H. Baker Jr. School of Public Policy and Public Affairs, and the Tickle College of Engineering. That's a lot. And what that basically means for you is you have a lot of opportunities, a lot of ways for you to potentially pursue areas that interest you for academic pursuit, areas for career growth and professional opportunities. And within all of these different colleges, there are some master's programs and there are some PhD programs. Now, I work within the Haslam College of Business. I am very familiar with those opportunities there. If there is a particular college or a particular area that you are interested in, they each have their own different process. They each have their own different programs, modalities, and timelines. So what I would encourage you is that as someone who has worked in admissions for over 8 years, I know that everyone who works in admissions outside of Haslam at the University of Tennessee is so excited to talk to you, and they're so excited to get the chance to know you. And so even if you're not sure, where your landing spot is. A conversation is the best first place because even if you don't eventually end up in a particular program or in a particular school, it's the vibe check is what I like to call it. Talking to people at a university, whether or not it's within the program you're looking for, tells you a lot about the culture of a school. It tells you a lot about the character of the people that you will be interacting with. There are student ambassadors, there are professors that are ready to talk to you. Ultimately, when it comes to these programs, I think research is a good first step. And the fact that you are at this event now, you're doing the right thing because you're starting to think in a way of how can I get to where I want to go? Maybe it's at the University of Tennessee, maybe it's not. Maybe it's within the Haslam College of Business, maybe it's at the College of Law. But by attending this event, you're starting to think and formulate questions that are going to be super helpful when you reach out to your various departments.
I'm sorry, Phil, I'm gonna interrupt you here and just talk with them a little bit. O Phil tava falando aqui dos diferentes tipos de... Would you please go back? Yes. Falou dos diferentes tipos de colleges, e em cada um desses colleges, pessoal, a gente tem vários programas aí de mestrado, de doutorado, a gente tem vários programas. Então, em cada um desses colleges, você vai achar ali 5, 6, 7 programas. Então, independente do que você é formado, com certeza tem alguma coisa aqui para você. E o Phil estava falando que explore a universidade, vá lá, contate as pessoas, é o que a gente fala na mentoria, né? Você precisa contatar. Ele falou uma coisa muito interessante que é um vibe checks, que é para você checar como é que é o seu alinhamento com aquela universidade, né? Com aquele programa. Se eles têm o que você quer e se você tem o que eles querem de um aluno. Então, esse vibe checks, esse checar como é que é a vibe do departamento, como é que é a vibe do programa, é muito importante e é parte da nossa metodologia. Você tem que entender que isso é uma coisa que não está escrito dentro do site em lugar nenhum. Em site nenhum isso está escrito. Mas o Phil acabou de trazer aqui para a gente que é algo muito importante. Go ahead, Phil.
So, in thinking about the Haslam College of Business, there are three main principles or three main ideas that are very important to us. And these are integrity, insight, and impact, the three I's here. So, integrity is essential to our community. And we see this through communication, through professionalism, through the courage to live our values. Having integrity means that you are going to be an impactful part of the cohort. We also really value insight. Creativity and sharing of knowledge are what make master's programs that much more powerful. You are in a community that really fosters discussion and encourages you to share your ideas. As someone in admissions, I'm often asked, how do I get the most powerful chance to be admitted to the program, or how can I really stand out? What are you looking for in admissions? And I always say, in admissions, we want someone who is confident enough in their own abilities to be able to share them with their classmates and professors, but also humble enough to know that sometimes they're not the smartest person in the room and that they can grow and develop together from the insight of their classmates. And finally, impact. I talked about the volunteer spirit a little bit and the volunteer mascot of our sports teams, but this really means that we are committed to influencing others through being creative to make an impact on society, to make an impact on communities, whether it's at an individual level or a group level there. We want to make a positive difference through our ideas and actions. And you may think, how is this possible through business? But at the end of the day, at the end of the spreadsheets and the consultations and the salaries are people, are communities. And we want students that have that perception heading into a graduate business setting because they're going to be the leaders. Within 3, 5, 10 years, you're going to be the leaders that are influencing policy and paying attention to the people in your company, but also the people in your community. From here, I'm going to talk a little bit about our graduate business programs that we offer within the Haslam College of Business. I'm going to go relatively quickly through these programs. Know that within Haslam, we primarily focus on our full-time in-person experiences. Now, we do have some part-time programs. Those are primarily for candidates that are within the United States. Usually classes happen on campus once every couple of weeks, and so it is a challenge to come in. There are some online classes as well, but because of visa considerations, it can be a challenge for international students to take part in those because it's a part-time program. And given the ever-changing geopolitical landscape here in the United States, it can be difficult to work with those changing visa policies as well. So we encourage international students who are looking to join one of our programs to choose one of these. So we have master's programs, and I'll talk about those right now. And then we also have the full-time MBA, which I'll talk about in a little bit. For our master's programs, these are typically one-year programs starting either in the summer or the fall, and then you graduate the following May. So it could be about 10 months to 12 months, depending on the program. With these programs, they're also really designed for candidates who are early in their career path. We tend to say 0 to 2 or 0 to 3 years of full-time work experience after completing your bachelor's degree or your undergraduate degree. With these master's degrees, you are stacking skills on top of your foundation that you gained as an undergraduate and ready to launch yourself into the workforce. So they are 1 year focused programs on one subject matter to get you the skills that you need, both the hard skills and the soft skills, to be ready to hit the ground running and enter the full-time workforce. The first program we're looking at here is our Masters of Business Analytics with AI. So we have had a Master's of Business Analytics program at the University of Tennessee for over a decade. We were actually the first university to have a standalone Master's in Business Analytics. Because AI is everywhere, we can't go anywhere without AI being a part of our lives. We have actually worked hard to transform the curriculum to have an AI focus in addition to the business analytics. This program begins in July. It is a small, tight-knit cohort, historically around 25 to 30 students, but really focused on career management support, technical skills, and strong corporate partnerships. There is a capstone project as part of this as well, where you'll work with a real company who gives you real data and a real problem. You're working with your team to present a solution to the company. A lot of times we actually see job offers come out of that presentation as well, which is a great opportunity. And it is a STEM designated program. With the AI piece, we are actually also giving students their own AI instance to develop as a part of the program so that you can be on the forefront of AI creation in your workplace after completion.
So that's an on-campus program, right?
So this is an on-campus
On
program,
campus.
yes.
Okay.
And these programs that I'm talking about will all be
On
on-campus programs.
campus. And is
Yes.
that full-time or part-time?
Full-time programs, yes. So
Full-time.
it is a full-time program. Classes are typically Monday through Thursday, from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. or so. So these are full-time in-person programs here. We have our Masters of Marketing program, which also begins in the summer, located here on campus. This is a little bit of a larger program, usually around 35 to 40 students, but is a very future-focused curriculum focusing on digital marketing and marketing campaigns. We have industry partners that come in and kind of allow you to do what we call reverse interviews. So it's basically you are interviewing these industry partners and leaders in this space in order to learn from them. That's the reverse job fair. We also have a speaker series as part of this marketing program. With our Masters of Management and HR, this is a 12-month program, but we also offer a part-time program. This is unique in that classes are in the evening. During the summer, classwork is online, and we have what is called a learn from anywhere model. If need be, you can take classes online for this program, and it's still considered a full-time program. So it's quite rare in the space, but it's really for students who are looking to gain human resources experience, some management skills. There's a lot of focus on networking and cohort learning. There's a capstone here as well. And as part of the program, you gain certificates and professional development opportunities throughout. Our Master of Supply Chain Management Global program is a STEM designated program that begins in the fall, located here on campus. The University of Tennessee was recently ranked #2 in the United States for supply chain management master's program. So this is something that we are very strong at here. There is a global immersion experience. Currently, students have the opportunity to go to either Panama or Vietnam to see how supply chain management is done internationally there. We have a career development team and also a strong employer pipeline because of the University of Tennessee's strong history in supply chain management. The placement rate for students and the focus on supply chain is very strong for our graduates. A Master of Accountancy program. So as it mentions, this is focused on accounting. It's historically for accounting majors that want to get their certified accounting license, their CPA. Within this program, you have some customization opportunities. Students can choose between 3 different concentrations: audit and controls, information management, and taxation. This is one of our larger programs, so historically 120 to 130 students within the cohort, but we also have very strong placement ratings and CPA passage rates. I believe last year we were at 100% CPA passing of the class, which is fantastic, and it is a STEM designated program. And our last master's program that I'll talk about today is our master's in economics. This is 2 to 3 semesters, so there's a bit of flexibility here in terms of how long you want the program to last. And we tend to see students go in one of 2 directions. Some students will go into the finance field afterwards. They'll look at financial economics. They'll get a job as a financial analyst with strong statistics and financial background from this program. Others will use the Masters of Economics to go into PhD, and there's a PhD preparation, concentration, and focus within this program as well that really sets you up nicely to enter the PhD space in economics. So those are our master's programs. Then we have our full-time MBA, and this is our flagship program here. Here's you can see a little glimpse of our football stadium that hosts 110,000 people. But with our full-time MBA program, we are a little different than some of our peer institutions in a number of different ways. First, we are a 16-month program. So we begin in the fall. Then you have your spring semester where you're continuing the foundations of business. You have a summer internship after that. And then in your final semester, you are choosing one of 5 different concentrations. You see them listed here: consulting, business analytics, entrepreneurship and innovation, supply chain management, and finance. So you're getting the breadth of a full-time MBA program and then the depth within a concentration. And then you finish the program in December. Many full-time MBA programs are 22 months, the full 2 years, but with the 16-month timeline, you get into the workforce a little bit faster. You are not up against many, many hundreds, thousands of MBA graduates who finished the programs in May, so the competition is a little bit lighter. And when it comes to paying for the program, you're paying for one less semester. You're paying for one less semester of housing, of tuition, of fees. And so it is a bit more of a cost-effective measure in terms of paying for a full-time MBA program. With our full-time MBA, we are also relatively small compared to some of our peer institutions, historically between 35 and 50 students in the cohort. That's by design. That's how we create that collaborative, tight-knit community that we're known for. It really allows our students to take full advantage of getting to know their professors, forming relationships in terms of mentor-menteeship, having an impact on their class. We also have a number of experiential learning opportunities, whether it's case competitions, whether it is hands-on projects, working with corporate partners, and then we have a global business seminar in the spring semester as well. We have one-on-one career coaching that starts 2-3 months before the start of the program, and it's available years after you graduate. We actually had someone who graduated from the MBA program about 6 years ago, who recently was laid off in the sweeping tech layoffs in the United States. He reached out to the career development team at Haslam, and they were able to find him a job within a couple of months. He had been removed from the program for over 5 years, but he still felt comfortable enough to reach out to his MBA career coaches, and they were still able to benefit him and help him find that next stage in his career. And a lot of that comes not only from that small support system, but also our strong alumni network. We have alumni around the country, around the world, and they are some of the most active alumni I have ever seen of any university around the world. We recently had an event here on campus for admitted students. This is what this picture is from. What you don't see in this picture here, we had over 25 alumni from around the country show up for a 2-hour dinner to welcome our admitted students to the program. You don't see that. You don't see that happen as frequently. Our alumni ask me, Phil, how can I give back? We actually have an MBA alumni board that works with students on mock interviews. They act as coaches for case competitions. They work with our career coaches to find opportunities for students with the internship side and the career side. And so going to a program like the Haslam MBA program, it really allows you to make an impact not only directly after your MBA, but set you up for long-term success as well. The last thing that I want to mention here is about our dual degree programs. We have a number of different colleges and institutes that have partnered with the MBA here at Tennessee that basically allows you to finish 2 degrees in an accelerated time frame. So pretty much any master's within the College of Engineering, our agriculture school, our law school, they've partnered with the MBA to offer dual degrees. So basically, you would do your first year of the program here at Haslam. You would do the first year of the MBA program. You get to do your summer internship, and then you can go over to a different college or a different master's program and finish that program. So in 2 years, you're leaving with 2 master's degrees from the University of Tennessee. So those are some very unique opportunities that are offered here within Haslam. A quick look at some of our employment outcomes. You see here for the class of 2025, we had an 89% acceptance rate. That is within 3 months of graduation. And so that is, given the year that we had last year in terms of tech offers and various problems in terms of international students being able to stay in the United States, we were able to find placement for almost 90% of our students. And you see here the average base salary for that class of 2025 as well. For employers, these are some regular employers that we tend to see with our students. Your Deloitte's, your Ernst & Young's, Michelin, Pilot, Boeing, but also since COVID, we've actually seen the number of employers expand greatly. The reason is a lot of companies have said, we don't have to travel to campuses anymore to hire students. Because of COVID, we have Zoom technology, we have virtual interviews, and so we're going to save money and not fly our employees out, and we're going to do virtual interviews for the first round. Well, because of that, our students have been able to work with so many more companies because they have an idea of how they want to leverage their MBA experience to get the job that they're looking for. And so we see students go to places like Amazon and Microsoft, sure, but also small boutique companies, sometimes international firms. Across those 5 concentrations that I mentioned, we really see students leveraging their MBA experience to get the jobs that they want. I mentioned a little bit about the tight knit community here. We have a number of different student organizations, ways for you to get involved as an MBA student. Some of them are a bit more career focused, like our Big Orange Consulting Club, our Net Impact Club. We also have ways to give back to the community, such as the Torch Funds. And then we have some fun areas as well, like our Grads to Golf, which teaches MBA students how to golf because a lot of business takes place on the golf course. And we need graduate students, we need MBA players who can hold their own and be able to golf, but also conduct business while out on the golf course.
That's amazing, Phil. I've heard one of our students talking about this. I think she graduated from Tennessee. I'm just going to tell them because I think that's an amazing initiative to teach the students, especially the Brazilians who don't know anything about golf. But that's great. O Phil está comentando aqui, a gente tem uma aluna que é formada no MBA nessa universidade, a Ludmilla. E a Ludmilla já tinha contado pra gente que no programa de business deles, eles têm como se fosse workshops, aulas, para você aprender a jogar golfe. Você tem noção? Por quê? Porque muita coisa de business, muita conversa de business acontece jogando golfe. Gente, até me arrepia, sabe por quê? Vocês assistem esses, vocês já viram esses filmes americanos em que tá lá, né, o pessoal jogando golfe, falando de coisas de business, de estratégias? Sim, isso é real. E a Universidade do Tennessee sabe que não é todo mundo que sabe que joga golfe. Então, eles te dão a oportunidade de aprender a jogar golfe para que você vá lá e consiga fazer as suas reuniões de negócio enquanto você joga golfe. Então, a gente já tinha uma aluna que tinha falado isso pra gente. E é super legal como as universidades, né? Não só o business, mas todos os programas, todos os colleges, eles querem o seu sucesso. Eles querem que você se dê bem, porque você forma uma rede de pessoas formada naquela universidade que se deu bem. And I was telling them that it's so nice to see how the University of Tennessee, the Haslam College, wants you to succeed. So that's why
Absolutely.
they do so much. They even take you to teach you how to play golf because they want you to succeed. And it's so, I feel so glad to be here and telling my Brazilian audience about your program.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. As I wrap up here, so some application and key dates here. Our website lives on our Haslam website. I'm sure that we can get you this link afterwards if need be. We are on what is called rolling admissions. So we don't have deadlines per se when it comes to your application. The earlier that you are able to submit your application, the earlier you can get your decision to the program. And the earlier that you apply, the more guaranteed seats there are available in the program, and the more scholarship or graduate assistantship funding there is available as well. So while we don't have deadlines, we do have some key dates that we really encourage people to apply by. Humans are deadline driven by nature, and so this kind of gives a nice landing spot to encourage our students to apply. But application typically opens end of August or beginning of September. And you see here we have key dates of October 15th, December 15th, February 15th, and then May 1st. Every program, every year, every application cycle is different from the last. So this year, for example, we actually have been able to extend when our international applicants are able to apply past December 15th for our fall start programs and past October 15th because we still have funding available. We still have some positions open for graduate assistantships. And so we've been able to extend that. However, if you want to be more comfortable applying and know that you don't have to potentially battle any cutoffs or lack of funding, we would strongly encourage you get your application in prior to December 15th. That will allow you to receive priority consideration for merit-based scholarships and assistantships.
O Phil tá falando aqui o que a gente sempre fala para vocês. Ele falou assim que se você quer uma bolsa, né, seja dos diferentes tipos de bolsas que ele oferece, você tem que aplicar antes de 15 de dezembro. E é o que a gente fala na mentoria sempre para vocês. Ah, aqui nessa universidade, por exemplo, são rolling admissions. Você pode aplicar a qualquer época do ano. Mas, se você aplica até 15 de dezembro, você tem prioridade quando eles têm oportunidade de bolsa para vocês. So, thank you for explaining that, Phil.
All right. And so ultimately, you may have questions that were answered today. More questions may have popped up, and that's great. Either one is fantastic, and we are here. I am here to answer any questions you have. If you're like me and this session finishes, and 2 hours later, you're like, oh, I thought of a question I want to ask. Here's my email. This is my personal direct email address here. Feel free to reach out, even if you are still a couple years away from applying. I'm happy to answer any questions you have as we enter our next application cycle. So once the application is open at the end of August or September, we will be hosting some potential events, some webinars, other opportunities for you to learn more specifically about the Haslam College of Business and the University of Tennessee. But I'm happy to open it now up to questions that may have come through.
We have some questions here. Thank you so much, Phil. Pessoal, o Phil tá falando aqui agora que vai ter o webinar, que vai ter info sessions. Coloca o link do formulário aqui, suporte para o pessoal que está aqui ao vivo responder. Se você está no Instagram, o formulário está aqui no YouTube. E preencham esse formulário aí, porque a gente criou justamente para a Universidade do Tennessee poder mandar para vocês essas informações de webinário, de info session que eles vão ter, para vocês receberem novidades deles. Então, preencham para você receber coisa, gente. Coisa de graça quem não quer. Então, preencha aí. Phil, we have some questions here that I'm going to tell you. First of all, do you require GRE for the MBA admission?
So we do ask for GRE or GMAT for the full-time MBA. There is the opportunity to request a test waiver. When you request a test waiver, we will look in particular at your resume, your undergraduate transcripts, and a short written statement about why you're looking for a test score. We look in particular at any quantitative courses that you've taken, so any math classes, any statistic courses, economics, because if you do well in those, you tend to do well in the MBA program. Where a test score can be really powerful, though, is when it comes to the merit-based financial awards. Because even though you may be admitted to the program without a test, if you do well on the GRE or you do well on the GMAT, you show more merit. Therefore, theoretically, your merit-based scholarship could be higher as a result of a stronger test score. That being said, everyone's situation is different, and we still are able to give financial awards to those who have had a test waiver. It's just an additional data point for the admissions committee to consider.
That's great. I think I got it. And following up with that question, another question that I saw in here, you said that you look into the candidate resume and transcripts, etc. We have many people here in our audience. We have more than 700 people online now. So we have many people here that have been working. They've graduated for 10, they've been graduated for 10, 15, 20 years. So they don't have much academic experience. And that's a concern for them when we're talking about a full-time MBA or a full-time master's program. What is the view of you as an admissions in this particular case of people that do not have much academic experience because they have been working for 10, 15, 20 years now?
Yeah, what we're seeing with full-time MBA programs especially is that the number of years of work experience keeps going up and up. Historically, 10 years ago, a full-time MBA, we saw students with 2 to 5 years of experience. Now we see candidates with 3 to 8, 3 to 10, 3 to 12 years of experience that are joining the full-time MBA. With an MBA program, it is your opportunity to make a career pivot. It is your opportunity to accelerate your career. Sometimes that means stepping away from work as well. But with a summer internship, with the network that you gain during the program, with the soft skills, it really allows you to re-enter the job market at a different level after completing your MBA. If
That's
you've been removed from the classroom for a number of years, we have ways to help get you ready for the class with the onboarding. So there's a program out there called MBA Math. It is an online asynchronous quantitative boot camp that basically gets you familiar with the language of business. We have all of our incoming MBA students do MBA Math. That we have found really helps them get ready for the classroom. If they haven't been in a college classroom in a number of years, it knocks off some of the rust and really helps get them ready. But ultimately, you are not alone. When you are re-entering the classroom, you are with others who have been out of the classroom for a while, and you'll also be with some classmates who graduated recently. That's your time to lean on them and have them help you out with some study skills. And then when the conversation flips to the importance of work experience and professional experiences, that's your time to shine and be able to share your expertise and work experience with your classmates.
got it. I think made people more comfortable in thinking about applying now. And following up with your question about having been graduating a long time, you talked about some resources that the university offer to those people. How about resources for international students who don't have English as the first language? So we will have some challenges in English. I still have challenges. I've been here for 12 years and it's still a challenge for me to to speak in English. So what are the resources that the University of Tennessee can offer to international students who are going for the first time or who are so we're gonna for sure have a challenge with English?
I, first of all, know that the international population at the University of Tennessee is huge, and there are students from all around the world that are here in Knoxville at the University of Tennessee. So again, know that you're not alone. I lived in South Korea for about 10 years, and even though I was fairly fluent at the end of my time there, I understand like there's a language barrier still, especially when you're talking about academic language. And so some resources available. The biggest one that I want to share, can I put things in the chat to share with a link in the chat, or will
Yeah.
that pull through?
If you put it here in the
Okay.
chat, we're gonna share
Okay.
on YouTube.
Wonderful. So this group here on campus, it's our International Student and Scholar Services. The Center for Global Engagement works with incoming students at the undergraduate level, the graduate level, the PhD level, and yes, they work with you on things like visa requirements, but they also have resources for students and for international families, and they help organize different opportunities, ways for you to get engaged in the community, and they provide a lot of support for you there. There may be opportunity for you to take some English classes. What I will say is that we will ask for an English proficiency exam as part of the application materials. And while they doesn't need to be perfect, we will look for a TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo score to show that you are at least able to hold a conversation in the classroom. Ultimately, it doesn't need to be perfect. If you can get your point across and you can understand your classmates, that's really what professors are looking for. And also that's what employers are looking for. Like there's ways that you don't have to be perfect in every single grammar or word choice or anything, vocabulary, but if you can get your point across and you're able to form a connection and to do some back and forth, that's ultimately the most important.
That's great. Great to hear because I know that's a big insecurity on of Brazilians. Phil, you talked at some point on your talk about challenge that immigration has posted last year and this year. So the University of Tennessee, are you still accepting international students, especially Brazilians? How is this point going with the university?
We are still accepting international students. Because it changes so rapidly, we encourage all of our international students to just pay attention to what's going on in their area and with the embassies as well. We're trying to do the best that we can also. Like I said, sometimes it changes day to day, week to week. And so we're doing our best to stay on top of it. But the link that I sent over for our Center for Global Engagement, that is their job. They work with students in order to navigate that. I know that we have worked with students to potentially defer their enrollment for a year if the visa situation doesn't work out. That's okay. Like, we want you to feel safe coming here and to feel supported, and we will do what we can to make sure that happens if you're admitted to the program.
That's great. Let me just tell them then this. O Phil mandou um link aqui, a gente mandou aqui o link no chat. É o Centro para Global Engagement, que é para você interagir globalmente. E o principal objetivo desse link que ele mandou aqui é auxiliar, apoiar, ser um apoio para o estudante internacional. Então, desde a parte de visto, de você tirar o seu visto, até a parte para quem vai com família, se instalar com família, pegar, matricular as crianças na escola, tudo isso, esse link que ele mandou aqui, eles vão ajudar o estudante internacional. E o Phil falou que a University of Tennessee tem um grande corpo de estudantes internacionais e eles fazem de tudo para que o estudante se sinta confortável e se sinta seguro. E na questão da imigração, que eu estava perguntando para ele agora, ele acabou de me falar que a universidade continua aceitando estudantes internacionais normalmente. Alguns estudantes de alguns países, como vocês sabem, tiveram algumas dificuldades o ano passado, principalmente para conseguir visto, e a universidade falou para eles assim: não, a gente vai segurar a sua vaga, a gente vai segurar tudo que a gente está te oferecendo aqui, e você tenta de novo no próximo semestre, no próximo ano, mas tudo que você já conseguiu está garantido aqui. Então, a universidade é sempre muito acolhedora no estudante internacional. E achei muito legal compartilhar isso aqui com vocês. Daí ele falou depois, ele falou também sobre os recursos que tem para quem não tem, né, tem dificuldades com inglês. E esse link também tem vários recursos para quem tem dificuldade com inglês. Show de bola. I think that's it, Phil. People are very
Okay.
excited to learn about the University of Tennessee, and there's still some questions, but I guess we covered most of it, and I think it was great. Is there anything that you'd like to finish to give them a final message?
It's never too late for graduate school. Ultimately, graduate school is here when you're ready to take that step. There are lots of support systems, lots of resources for you. And I think that there's a path for everyone. If graduate school is something that you are interested in, there are so many opportunities, especially here at the University of Tennessee, but really anywhere that you go. So continue to ask questions, continue to stay curious, and I look forward to staying in touch with all of you.
Thank you so much, Phil. I really appreciate you sharing everything about University of Tennessee with our audience. We had 700 people attending
All right.
the talk, so people are really interested in the University of Tennessee. I guess you're gonna be getting some emails the next days and weeks.
Sounds good. As a heads, my Portuguese is not great, so please understand. But I look forward to connecting with all of you there. And Monique, thank you again so much for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much, Phil. It was great to talk to you. And bye bye, Phil. Deixa eu falar com vocês aqui, ainda na audiência, vocês que estão aqui me ouvindo. Suporte, pode tirar o fio aí para nós, para eu dar os meus recados finais aqui para você que ficou aqui. Não deixa de preencher o formulário da Universidade do Tennessee para vocês receberem informações privilegiadas que eles prometeram para nossa audiência. Eles estão realmente afins de brasileiro, gente. Vamos preencher esse formulário aí, vamos aproveitar essa janela de oportunidade que está se abrindo. A gente tem boa fama nos Estados Unidos, a gente é trabalhador, esforçado, a gente sempre faz mais do que a obrigação, a gente é brasileiro, a gente não desiste nunca, a gente é resiliente e eles mandam mais brasileiros aplicar, eles estão mandando mais brasileiros aplicar, eles amam tudo isso em relação à personalidade do brasileiro. Então, não deixa de conferir a Universidade do Tennessee. Lembrar mais uma vez que a gente está com pouquíssimas vagas disponíveis na mentoria e eu quero que você lembre tudo que está em jogo, né? Não estou falando só de você entrar na mentoria, eu quero que você lembre tudo que está em jogo. Você está investindo em estar num ambiente que aproxima você das oportunidades certas, das universidades certas, das pessoas que já fizeram esse caminho antes. E a gente aqui, eu e a Sara, a gente pensa em absolutamente tudo para facilitar a sua chegada nos Estados Unidos. A gente pensa em cada detalhe. Inclusive, Se você entrar na mentoria hoje, você vai levar um bônus super exclusivo, que é o Q&A, perguntas e respostas, né, de família nos Estados Unidos, que é um encontro ao vivo no Zoom com um mentorado que já está vivendo essa realidade aqui nos Estados Unidos. Pessoas que foram com filho pequeno, com cônjuge, com família inteira, pessoas que tiveram filhos aqui, pessoas que tiveram pet aqui, que trouxeram um pet. Então, é um espaço para você perguntar tudo sobre a família, adaptação de escola, plano de saúde, rotina, trabalho do cônjuge, os primeiros meses, como é que é custo, como é que é gravidez, como é que é documentação, tudo, tudo, tudo. Só que esse bônus é para essas últimas vagas da turma da mentoria. Eu não quero que você que está me ouvindo aí dê bobeira. Eu quero que você clique no link que está sendo enviado aqui no chat. Quero que você faça a sua inscrição na mentoria que mais leva brasileiros com bolsa 100% nos Estados Unidos, porque eu quero que daqui a pouco seja você que esteja aqui nos Estados Unidos. Quero que daqui a pouco eu esteja falando de você. Eu esteja falando de você que foi o nosso aluno, que está aqui nos Estados Unidos, que já se formou, que está no mercado de trabalho, como a nossa aluna Ludmilla, que foi aluna de MBA no Tennessee. Hoje ela já trabalha. Ela mora aqui com o marido dela, com a filha dela, e ela trabalha, ela tem uma vida aqui nos Estados Unidos. Então, você não pode esquecer que a sua aprovação, ela não depende de sorte, ela depende do método e do seu esforço. Então, confia na gente, toma essa decisão. Você sabe que depois é nunca. As vagas estão acabando. Vem garantir a sua vaga na mentoria. Eu quero muito ver você com essa decisão tomada do lado de cá da mentoria para a gente seguir junto de mãos dadas até a porta da Universidade Americana. Foi incrível estar aqui com vocês essa noite. Uma boa noite e te vejo lá na mentoria.